Well, good morning, everyone.
Spokane's mayor is no stranger to a little curbside campaigning, but this morning, David Condon and members of the city council were asking for your support of a community concept called Give Real Change.
And so we're asking citizens, rather than to give to panhandlers throughout the city, is to give to those organizations that have committed to really making a real change in people's lives.
I'm asking the motorists to consider how far they want their money to go. If you give $5 to somebody who has a cardboard sign, it's not going to go nearly as far as it will if you give that to a local charity.
Give Real Change is about connecting Spokane citizens who are homeless with the resources they need to end their traumatic experience of living in our parks and streets.
Spokane is a compassionate city, and we're full of compassionate people who want to make a difference. And so what we're trying to do is to help them give to those agencies that are making changes that put people into permanent housing and change their lives for the better.
And that's why last week the city installed these new signs in panhandling hotspots, urging people experiencing homelessness to call 211 for help.
We had a place, we had a job and everything, and he lost his job, and then we lost our place, and it's been one thing after another.
Like 80% of the people struggling with homelessness, Abby and her 4-year-old daughter used to live in one of our neighborhoods. Now she's waiting for more permanent housing.
I'm on 3 different waiting lists, and it's a matter of hit and miss on whether or not they have a way of getting a hold of us.
On Tuesday, a city employee referred Abby to Family Promise, a 24/7 shelter fully funded by the city. This year, the mayor and city council will spend $13 million to help people experiencing homelessness, support for low-income families, and housing.
So we fund everything from employment services, we fund outreach to help make a connection with those people who are experiencing homelessness and help them take advantage of the services that we're funding, like sheltering. We fund transitional housing for families.
The city is also paying the House of Charity more than $500,000 this year to keep its doors open 24/7, as well as a coordinated intake system that addresses individual needs and underlying challenges, including not being victimized by crime.
We know that there's criminal activity going on under the freeway, and we have vulnerable citizens and businesses that rely on us to keep them safe.
Those crime victims included the homeless themselves, students and staff at Lewis and Clark High School, and some of Jim Redmond's auto repair customers.
Our cars in our lots have been broken into. We've had windows broke. We've had customers harassed. Garbage every morning is everywhere.
And that's when the city set its sights on driving away the criminal element by robbing them of a comfortable place to wait for their victims. There were also safety concerns about overgrown brush.
The city started on this path to improve public safety under the freeway last year. And that meant we were going to improve lighting, we're going to provide fencing and better signage, and eliminate the shrubbery and put in rock in place of shrubbery. This is all done as part of environmental design.
The city has made similar environmental changes to help reduce crime in our parks and other public spaces so that public property remains safe for all of the public to use. When the city realized property under the freeway had become a haven for dangerous, illegal behavior, they cleared away the brush and in its place installed a layer of rock. That's to improve the safety of the area for everyone who uses it, including those who experience homelessness. Installing that rock was the last move in a series of improvements designed to reduce crime under Interstate 90. The boulders did displace some people experiencing homelessness, and the hope is those folks will take advantage of safer, healthier housing options provided through the city's emergency shelters and housing system. And weeks before the rock arrived, outreach teams hired by the city offered people taking shelter under I-90 a chance to transition from life on the street. Some of them welcomed the opportunity, others did not. Because of the basalt, the city will now spend less money removing 800 pounds of garbage and litter generated by the campers every day. Connecting people with services and housing is the overall goal. That's why outreach teams check in with homeless individuals and families daily and encourage campers to use shelters where they can be connected with the life-changing services they need in a safer, more appropriate living environment. They also offer resources hooking up people with employment, healthcare, and guidance navigating complex systems. The services are made available through individual agencies and collectively through community court, regardless of their involvement in the criminal justice system. It's a comprehensive network built around the needs of individuals who are in crisis, people who deserve the help of their community.
People need to feel comfortable to fail, to try new things, and to be open to the services when they're available to them. And so sometimes that's the first try, sometimes that's the 100th try, but we always want to be able to be there to help people in need.
Tisha Danzig helped organize this summer's 100 Youth 100 Days Challenge. The city and its partners met their ambitious goal, finding housing for 109 young people experiencing homelessness.
We looked at it as a stepping stone to a higher goal of providing a system where our youth could feel safe and supported when they needed help most.
And now, as the summer draws to a close, Spokane is urging motorists not to hand over their spare change to individuals, but rather donate whatever you can afford to the agencies that work to end homelessness.
People in their desire to be compassionate and give to those who are suffering can sometimes feel habits that don't help that individual. And so this is an option for people to give to agencies that they can be sure are going to spend those dollars to help people make positive changes.
And that's why you'll find these former parking meters going up around town as an easy way for you to help the less fortunate find a better way of life, help them and our city move forward, and give real change.